Breaking news that could significantly impact millions of Americans. The House of Representatives has just passed groundbreaking legislation that promises to reshape Social Security benefits as we know them. Could you be eligible for the newly approved $4,600 benefit checks scheduled to start arriving in just weeks? What requirements must you meet to qualify for these enhanced payments? And how will this major development affect your financial future? Stay tuned as we break down everything you need to know about this historic congressional breakthrough. Before we dive into all the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates about your benefits and financial security. Give this video a thumbs up if you want more breaking news coverage on retirement benefits, and drop a comment below telling us what questions you have about these new payments. Now let's get into the details of this game-changing legislation. Good day to all our viewers, and today we're covering what might be the most significant development in Social Security benefits in decades. Just yesterday, after months of heated debate and negotiation, the House of Representatives passed the Social Security Enhancement and Stability Act, which includes provisions for expanded benefit payments of up to $4,600 for qualifying recipients. This landmark legislation represents a major shift in how our government approaches retirement security for millions of Americans who have worked hard their entire lives. According to supporters of the bill, these enhanced payments are designed to address the growing concerns about inflation, rising healthcare costs, and the overall adequacy of current benefit levels. The timing of this legislation comes at a critical moment, as many retirees and disabled Americans have been struggling with the increasing cost of living. Recent economic reports have highlighted the challenges faced by those on fixed incomes, with essential expenses like housing, food, and healthcare continuing to rise faster than traditional benefit adjustments. So what exactly does this new legislation include? At its core, the bill provides for supplemental benefit payments of up to $4,600 for qualifying individuals, with payments scheduled to begin distribution on April 10, 2025. These funds will be disbursed through the same channels as regular Social Security payments, whether via direct deposit, direct express cards, or paper checks mailed to your address on file. But the question on everyone's mind is, who qualifies for these enhanced benefit payments? According to the legislation, eligibility is determined by several key factors. First and foremost, recipients must be current Social Security beneficiaries, including retired workers, disabled individuals, and certain qualifying dependents or survivors. Additionally, there are income thresholds that determine both eligibility and the amount you may receive. The full $4,600 benefit is available to individuals with annual incomes below $35,000 or married couples filing jointly with incomes below $70,000. Benefits gradually phase out for those with higher incomes, with partial payments available to individuals earning up to $48,000 or couples earning up to $96,000 annually. Another important qualification factor is your benefit history. The legislation provides the largest increases to those who have been receiving benefits for at least 24 months prior to the implementation date and whose current benefits fall below certain thresholds relative to the national average. For many Americans, particularly those in the lower and middle benefit tiers, this could represent a substantial increase in their overall benefit package. For example, someone currently receiving the average monthly benefit of approximately $1,900 could see their annual benefits increase by over 20% when factoring in these supplemental payments. But how will these enhanced benefits be funded? This has been one of the most contentious aspects of the legislation. According to the bill's proponents, funding will come from a combination of adjustments to the Social Security wage base cap, which limits the amount of earnings subject to Social Security taxes, along with certain modifications to investment income taxation for higher earners. Supporters argue that these funding mechanisms ensure the long-term stability of the Social Security Trust Fund while providing immediate relief to those who need it most. Critics, however, have expressed concerns about the potential impact on the federal budget and future obligations. It's worth noting that while the House has passed this legislation, it still needs to clear the Senate before heading to the President's desk for signature. Senate leadership has indicated they plan to prioritize this bill, with a vote potentially coming as early as next week. The White House has signaled support for the measure, suggesting that final approval could be imminent. What steps should you take now to prepare for these potential benefit increases? First, ensure that your contact information is up to date with the Social Security Administration. If you've moved recently or changed banks, now is the time to update your information to prevent any delays in receiving your payments. Second, be aware that the Social Security Administration will be sending out eligibility notices to beneficiaries in the coming weeks. These notices will provide specific information about whether you qualify and, if so, the amount you can expect to receive. Third, start planning for how these additional funds might fit into your overall financial picture. While it might be tempting to view these payments as a windfall, financial advisors recommend considering how they might be used to strengthen your long-term financial security, whether through paying down debt, building an emergency fund, or addressing deferred healthcare needs. Many of you might be wondering how these new benefits interact with other assistance programs. According to the legislation, these supplemental payments will not count as income for determining eligibility for programs such as Medicaid, SNAP, food stamps, or housing assistance. This important provision ensures that receiving these enhanced benefits won't jeopardize other crucial support systems for vulnerable Americans. The path to this legislation has not been without controversy. Critics have raised concerns about the timing of the payments, suggesting that the proximity to the recent presidential election might have influenced the urgency behind the bill. Others question whether the funding mechanisms will be sufficient to support these increased benefits without compromising the long-term viability of the Social Security system. Proponents, however, point to the immediate needs of millions of Americans struggling with rising costs and inadequate benefit levels. They argue that this legislation represents a necessary correction to ensure that Social Security fulfills its original promise of providing genuine security and dignity in retirement or disability. As we've seen with previous benefit changes, implementation may come with certain challenges. The Social Security Administration will be tasked with updating their systems, verifying eligibility, and processing millions of additional payments in a relatively short time frame. Officials have expressed confidence in their ability to meet the April 10 target date, but beneficiaries should be prepared for the possibility of some delays or administrative hurdles. For those who might not qualify for the full benefit amount, there may be steps you can take to maximize your eligibility. Consulting with a financial advisor familiar with Social Security regulations could help you understand potential strategies, particularly if your income is near the eligibility thresholds or if you have flexibility in how you report certain types of income. Beyond the immediate impact of these benefit increases, this legislation may signal a broader shift in how our nation approaches retirement security, as the demographic makeup of the United States continues to evolve. With an increasing proportion of older Americans, policies that strengthen and expand Social Security could become more common. What does this mean for younger workers currently paying into the system? According to analysts, the funding mechanisms included in this legislation are designed to improve the long-term stability of Social Security without significantly increasing the payroll tax burden on current workers. However, the true impact will depend on economic factors that are difficult to predict with certainty. It's important to note that these enhanced benefits are currently structured as a one-time adjustment rather than a permanent increase to the benefit formula. However, the legislation includes provisions for evaluating the impact and effectiveness of these payments, with the possibility of extending or modifying the program in future years based on those findings. For many retirees and disabled Americans who have found their benefits stretched increasingly thin in recent years, this legislation represents a meaningful acknowledgement of their challenges and a concrete step toward addressing them. Organizations representing seniors and people with disabilities have generally expressed support for the measure, while emphasizing the need for more comprehensive reforms to ensure long-term adequacy and sustainability. As April 10 approaches, we can expect more detailed information to become available about the distribution process and any additional steps beneficiaries might need to take. We'll be covering these developments comprehensively here on our channel, so again, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications enabled. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and share this video with friends or family members who might benefit from this news. Subscribe to our channel for continued coverage of this developing story and other important financial updates. And drop your questions in the comments below. We read every comment and use them to plan future content that addresses your most pressing concerns. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video with further updates as this important legislation progresses through the final stages of approval.